Wacom. Welcome to the digiDirect Studios, hosted by Fujifilm. I'm very pleased to be joined here by Chris Stewart from Wacom. Chris, how are you today?
Yeah, very well.
Welcome to the show, EduTech. It's been a wild show. Firstly, I want to thank Wacom for obviously supporting us with the Cintiq tablet that's on display today. We've got a Cintiq Pro 27-inch on display.
Yep.
Beautiful device.
It is. Yeah, we it's a flagship of our range, that Pro series. So it was only released probably about less than 12 months ago.
Wow.
And it's a real jump forward for us in terms of technology. So a little bit about Wacom is that we've been around for 40 years. We started the pen-on tablet technology. If you've got a pen that doesn't have a battery in it, it's probably OEM'd. It's a Wacom pen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Samsung, Toshiba, all of those, that's our technology. But our real, I guess the pride of our products is our creative tablets.
Yep.
And the Cintiq, as I said, is the flagship. It's used by all of the large studios. So if you're watching the special features on any big Marvel movie or anything like that, you'll see a little tablet and the artists creating on that. That's a Wacom tablet. Yeah, that's right.
Listen, I've myself have been a Wacom guy for a very long time, starting on the Intuos 3 or 4. So
it goes back a while.
It does go back quite a bit. So, but when I saw and touched and felt the Cintiq, it was something else, right? And we've had quite a few. Obviously, we're at EduTech, so quite a few educational industries come to us and are very, very excited about the technology. But the same thing, they say the same thing to me, every one of them. Like they see this beautiful screen and they kind of shy away, like this is too much. Can you just speak to a little bit about on how a school that is starting from zero can incorporate something like the Cintiq into their workflow?
Yeah. So if you're having a look at so the Cintiq is the top of the range, but there is a range of displays that all lead up to the Cintiq. So as I mentioned, that you'll find that in studios. You'll find that also in universities. That teach animation, that teach VFX, that photography design, those sorts of things. And then we'll have some schools as well, K-12 schools that will have the Pro range, but they'll also some of them have the smaller size, so the 16-inch. Which is ideal for schools, or the Wacom One, which is kind of like it's our entry level into schools. And what we find is that the market for artists in Australia is growing exponentially, really is. And Melbourne is a real hub as well for creatives. And so what happens is you need students at that K-12 level to sort of learn at entry level, learn those skills on the drawing, creative skills, and also use the creative tools that software tools as they go through. Then they're ready for tertiary, and then they're ready for the workforce. But it's a huge area for students to get into. And what we find is a lot of you'll have K-12 schools that will have teachers that are ready to sort of take the leap from traditional mediums into digital mediums. And it is a lot simpler than they think. Sometimes teachers can get scared, a little bit scared off by the technology. Easy to set up. And quite intuitive to make the jump from traditional mediums, traditional art mediums, so drawing on paper, painting, to digital mediums.
So you said with the compatibility. I mean, it's compatible with Mac, Windows, so
Chromebook,
Chrome as well. Wow.
Yep. So there's the opportunity. So some schools will have, as I said, will set up like a lab where they'll buy 15, 20 units, and they'll make it as part of their computer lab, and they'll have them set up for students. Others will have them where they BYD, where students can plug their own laptop into them as well. Some do them as that students can loan them, like they'll have a library where they can check them out and they can use them as well. The key is, though, is getting them in the hands of students. And the interesting thing is, so Wacom tablets are sort of industry-ready tablets. A lot of kids are already familiar from using traditional tablets, you know, how to draw. They have those skills, and it's really
you've even got the likes of iPads now with the whole bunch of drawing tools.
Exactly,
I guess
right.
Moving from that to a more professional device is
and that's the leap that they take, right? But from a teacher's point of view, the students are not the problem. They'll make the leap into digital really easily. And so don't be intimidated as well as a teacher. You'll make the leap as well. It's very simple to go to those mediums. And if you have a look at some of the, like Photoshop as an example, it really just takes a little bit of time to understand how those mediums work, but all of those skills are transferable, and that's the real benefit. And moving forward as well, so there's that space, not just, I was talking about studios, but creating online, streaming, YouTube. It's such a growing area as well, an opportunity for students.
Absolutely. No, that's amazing. Let's kind of divert a little bit and talk maybe about the future of Wacom. I mean, obviously with the Cintiq 27, a very new addition to the family, a beautiful device. Can you give us a bit of insight, a little bit of what's happening about Wacom? What can we expect in the future?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're doing, we're always updating our model. So that 27 range, the Pro range, has just come out. We're also coming out very soon with a very thin, lightweight model that will allow people to be more mobile. So we don't have, some people go, oh, how come you don't have a tablet with a processor on board, like an iPad or something like that? That's not our core area, because we're wanting students to access the enterprise software that they're going to use in business, and that needs a PC to run it. And so we're always going to be moving forward, and the key areas are in sensitivity, pressure levels, feel as well, real feel. Another interesting area that we're hoping, I'm just deciding whether I can tell you this. I think I can tell you this.
You can tell us. Hot scoop. You're here first.
It is in VR technology.
Okay.
So where people are creating in the VR, but also there's a VR sensor in a Wacom pen, so that you can actually be drawing in 2D in a virtual space on the tablet, and then taking it and moving it, and then creating. So multi-medium 2D, 3D space, which is just a really interesting way of creating in those spaces. I don't know, have you done much in the VR?
I have, yes.
Yeah.
I think everyone's experienced VR.
So if you try to draw with VR, you're trying to draw a circle, it doesn't look like that. You do need that sort of crossover where you can do that. And some of the when you're designing, as an example, if you're designing, so Ford, Toyota, they all utilise our Cintiqs to design all of their cars. But one of the things in an automotive space, you'll be sitting in a virtual space, and being able to design where I'm sitting virtually, okay, where are we putting, all of the gauges, what's the dash looking like? You can actually sort of transfer between the 2D and then take it off of there and put it in a 3D space. So it's it's very cool.
Wow.
Very
cool. Listen, it's a very exciting future, I guess, for the technology, and just in general technology with the VR kind of coming up. I mean, the industry is obviously, the use cases it is quite large. Everything from, obviously, like you said, the traditional 2D, 3D drawing to 3D design, and even I mean, you're probably seeing, I'm assuming, bigger industries when it comes to I'm thinking more car industries and
Yeah,
all that sort of
design is a big area. So designing of products. So one of the things we like to say, if you've and I can't remember the quote, but basically, if you've worn it or sat in it or used it, it's probably been designed on a Wacom. So
Amazing, yeah.
so most designing of products occurs as well on Wacom tablets. So as an example, in our industry, we're one of the few industries where we've probably got something like 90% market share in our space. Just because it is the best design product to create anything, and so design is a strong area. Medical's an interesting area as well. Yeah. So if you think about, it's probably not that maybe it is to education, but if you're thinking oncology, medical oncology, where you're highlighting areas that need to be treated for cancer, you need to be accurate, right?
I see. Yeah.
And so what they'll do is they'll take a cross section of an area that needs to be treated, and the doctor then has to highlight where the treatment's actually going, and they do that on Wacom screens. Air traffic control is another one. So if you think of an area that where do we need to be really accurate, air traffic control's at one. So we're sort of the default in air traffic control as well, where plane paths, etc., are on there. So there's lots of non-creative areas that the tablets are utilised as well.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. And if you guys want to know more about the Wacom tablets, please visit us at digiDirect. We've got stores around, so head to our website, find out where we are, and get your hands on one. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you.
Take care.